Welcome to another episode of Chatting with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today I got Eli One. What's up, man?
What up, brother? Let's get it. How you doing?
I'm good, man. How you been?
I'm good, man. Just working, you know what I mean? Putting together these tracks and shit, you know what I mean? Same old, same old.
Hell yeah, man. I like your dedication, man. You've been dedicated to get on Chatting with Staxx. And that's one of
Hell
the
yeah.
reasons why I put you on, man. It's because, hey, I like your drive and I see what you're doing, man. I see your music and you got a dope thing going on out there. So you want to tell the people before we get started, make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell so you could get my videos every time they drop. So you want to tell the people where you're from and what your upbringing was like, man?
Yeah, definitely, brother. So I was born in Tucson, Arizona, on the south side, you know what I mean? Also lived on the east side, half and half of my life, but my heart's on the south side. Grew up, man, here on the east side, I was 16 years old, slanging crack, you know what I mean?
What year
Slanging
were you born?
dubs and shit. I was born in 86. Yeah. So 36 now is shit. But yeah, so I was slang, at a young age and got popped by undercovers at a young age, so I learned a lot about, myself and the right way to make money and stuff like that.
When did you start getting into the music?
So that was about when I was on put on probation actually, for that charge. I did a little bit of time in juvie, whatever. I got out on juvenile intensive probation, and that's when I got my first DR5 beat machine, and then I started
DR5,
making
man.
beats.
I used to have one of those, bro. The
Yeah,
DR,
bro.
the DR550, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, it was just a little
Yeah.
one, with the pads on it, everything like that.
Yeah,
So
it's black. It's black, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
man.
it was dope. I had already started writing music to instrumental beats and stuff like that. So I had already had a category of songs. I just needed my beats. So I started making beats and, plus I was home being on probation and everything. So man, that's when I just started putting my beats to my lyrics and creating actual songs.
So when you were growing up, did you see other people that were getting sucked into the street life as you were as you were growing up? Did you see some of your friends fall victim to the streets?
Yeah, man. I wish I would have saw more of it, but I don't think I saw enough to where it, you know what I mean, made me go a different direction. I had to really learn on my own, you know what I mean, and have to deal with the consequences on my own, and that's the way kind of life is, you know what I mean? We don't really learn until it happens to us. It don't really seem real, you know what I mean? It doesn't really seem like a risk, until you actually get popped. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
yeah,
man.
I saw a lot of homies, especially after the fact of getting out. You know what I mean? And my piece was still dealing with their struggles and their hardship. It was hard for me because I had just got out. Like I said, I had got my beat machine, and my peoples were still in that mind frame. And I had to continue on with my path, which I knew was meant for me. You know what I mean? In that street life, I feel like what I mean. At that point, it wasn't meant for me.
So how old were you when you got the beat machine?
So that was when I was 18. Yeah, so that was when I was 18, and then I worked my way up and I ended up getting a boss multi tracker. You know what I mean? So that
Yeah.
was the next thing of recording, so I started recording my beats on this multi tracker and
Was it the
actually
mini disc one?
it was actually a big one, and it was a big one, and it had all the buttons in front of it, and it was like 16 tracks, and then you could bounce those 16
Bounce
tracks.
them. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was unlimited, and it also had a CD burner on it.
Yeah,
So
like
that's
in it.
the
Yeah.
yeah. So once you exported it and whatever, you just press burn CD, and then it burned it right there on the damn multi tracker. So
So
that
you've been doing music since did you ever use the 4-track tapes? The
oh
four
yeah,
track
man.
tape ones?
I used to actually record on the cassette tapes. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I would have my CD player bumping some, CDs, whatever it was I was listening to, Lynch or whatever. And then, once that song ended, the beat go on for a minute. So I'll be busting raps, you know what I mean, real quick, and then I make myself a mixtape. All these songs, about like 30 seconds each, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the
So
last you take the last little part, right? The last little part of the beat and you loop
the
it.
little outro, yeah. There was no looping, you know what I mean? That was before I was advanced, you know what I mean? But when I first started, I just have my CD player, and then I'll have my tape deck right there, and then I'll be using the beats, like I said, from the CD, and then I'll lower it down at the end, at the end of my verse, to make it sound like it's legit. But that's where I started and shit. Before we were recording on the computers and shit like that, before we had Fruity Loops, you know what I mean? Before we had all that shit, when everything was manual, you know what I mean? You had to have yourself a workstation
It
in
was
order
called
for
hardware. It was called hardware. You used
yeah,
hardware.
or
Yeah, like
software, yeah.
yeah. Like people don't know the struggle, man. This is the struggle right here. It's real, bro.
There you go. Yup.
This struggle's real, man.
Yup.
How about this one? Have you ever seen this one?
Oh yeah, yep. What the fuck? Yeah. Yeah, I never used that tape, man. I wish I had that back in the days, but we had to do it ghetto style, you know what I
I
mean?
had this one. So with this one, you would have to do one take. You couldn't go back and piece it in. You would have to do your rhyme in one take because
Yeah.
you would have to bring it all the way to the beginning. So now, if you're doing verses, say you got a verse and your boy got a verse, right? And
Hmm.
you're going to cut out, say a person got a verse in the middle. So I'm going to do my verse. You're gonna let it play throughout your boy's second verse. On the third verse, your boy gotta hit the verse all on point too, man. If
Yeah,
one of
yeah.
you are off, you have to start all the way over at the beginning.
That's
That's how
fucked up.
it works. It's crazy,
Hell yeah.
man.
Yeah,
And
I
then
remember I had the four tracker, but it was literally all it was the four tracks, and then then the four mute buttons under it, but it wasn't like that, you know what I mean? It was crazy. So it's basically I had my microphone plugged in one jack and the beat plugged in the other jack. I have It was four tracks, so a beat for the beat, and then the rest of the three were vocals. You know what I mean? So I
yeah.
just used those four, and I mean it worked. Shit.
So this is the one that I upgraded to when I finally could like really buy a piece of equipment. I upgraded to this, the Tascam 564.
Oh, that's
And
nice.
I was recording on that. It's a hard mini disc recorder. It's pretty dope,
Oh
man.
man,
I enjoyed it. I
hell
would
yeah.
probably buy that just for nostalgic reasons.
No digital whatsoever. It got a little digital screen, but
Yeah.
but no real, not
Yeah,
very helpful.
it's not like today, man. It's nothing like today. I think I would buy that just as like just to remind me of my stuff I used to work
That's a
on.
conversation piece. Yup, and and memories, of course. Hell yeah. I had my DR5 for a minute, and somewhere it got lost along the road, but it's all good, man.
So what's some of the situations that you found yourself in growing up in Arizona?
Yeah. Wow, shit. Me and my homies always used to me always fuck around with this video camera. We always just bullshit and everything like that. And one time we had heard Lynch was coming to Tucson or whatever, so we went up to Tucson Mall and shit. This back in 2001 when he was doing the show and shit. And fucking we went on the hunch that he was gonna be at the Tucson Mall, and then man, we're mobbing and shit. All of a sudden we see Sick Made jerseys and shit. We're like, oh shit, that's Lynch. Oh shit. So fucking we end up running into his ass, got his autograph and everything. I got this shit on VHS still. You know what I mean? So
Oh,
that
you
was the
still
first.
got it? You got
Yeah,
to
yeah.
get
I got
that.
the
You got to put it on digital. You could
yeah.
transfer it.
Yeah, for sure. So for now, I just took like a camera of the actual video, so just in case the fucking
Oh
tape
yeah.
mixes, I got that little backup. But
Shout out to
yeah,
Lynch, man.
yeah. Shout out to Lynch, you know what I mean, and Sick Made Sick. So it's kind of crazy where I ended up now being such a huge fan. a lynch and everything like that. But yeah, that was one story. Zag was with them, low key was with them, and everything like that. We got them all on camera and shit. We're just starstruck. You know what I mean? But
That's dope.
as far as that goes, like that's what our childhood kind of, if you call it that, you know what I mean, consist of, was just, you know what I mean, fucking around, and just those were our idols, you know what I mean? Those were our
Yeah,
idols.
man. Hold up, man. Angry Sig, man. You know what, Angry Sig? Get your ass in the bathroom, man. No, I don't got time for this, man. Get the fuck out of here. Said, oh, six people, you're killing it. Yeah, I don't need you to watch. How about that? I'd rather not have you watch, bro. So,
that's that's funny, man.
so what? Now he's in the bathroom scrubbing the toilet. Have fun in there, bro.
The
So,
back.
let's get back to it, man. So,
Okay.
growing up, um, you have you seen a lot of street things happen? Have you had? Can you explain any situations like that where you've had close calls in the streets and
Yeah,
were
man, we had our times, you know what I mean, without criminalizing myself too much, you know what I mean.
yeah, yeah.
We we had our nights, you know what I mean, and did our dirt and everything like that. Jacking whips or whatever, and joy riding and everything like that, of course, all those things that come with that lifestyle, and the shit that we're listening to, and the shit that we're hearing is cool and shit. We're out there doing it. We're all out there trying to, fulfill that shit. So in the midst of all that, cop chases and everything like that, and getting away from cops. So there was a lot of run-ins and everything like that I got away from. You know what I mean? That obviously makes you think, okay, I got away with this. I got away with that. I'm gonna keep fucking around. So
So
yeah.
how were the police out there? Have you had any crazy dealings with the police? And how did they treat you out there?
Yeah, not so much, man. I try to keep once I started doing music and everything like that. Like I said, I learned at a young age, so you know what I mean. I try to, keep my head above water and just stick to this music. You know what I mean, and that was always my excuse when motherfuckers trying to get into shit and everything like that. Like, you know what I mean. I'm just trying to do this music. I'm trying to make this shit crack and everything like that. As far as 5 O's, you hear it all. You know what I mean. There's dirty ones, you know what I mean, and whatnot and shit like that. Motherfuckers to take advantage of shit, but like I said, for the most part, I try to keep my nose clean and shit like that, and just focus on on
Keep
trying
a
to get
low
my life
profile,
together.
stay away from them dudes. I feel you,
Yeah,
man.
you know what I mean. The furthest away you get from them motherfuckers, the better. You know what I mean.
But you
So
know how it is. I used to run a studio, a music studio, back in the day, a long time ago. This is a long time ago. And they used to think I was dealing drugs because all the people coming and going. And they would like, the cops would harass people that would leave my house. They were always messing with me. So it was like, even though I wasn't doing anything illegal, it seemed like it. I could see from the outside looking in that people could think that I was up to no good, but I wasn't.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I could tell you about the situation when I got popped by the undercovers. You know what I mean? Because you never think it's gonna happen to you. You see an episode of Cops and you're like, man, how did that motherfucker not know that was a fucking narc? You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's the way I had to kind of look back at it too. I was at Santa Rita Park, you know what I mean, slanging dubs and thinking I was cool, and I was just like, asked my brother, let me go get the double up, let me go get the double up, you know. So I go back by myself, get the double up, and then on the way back from getting the double up, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna try to slang. You know what I mean? I'm gonna try to show these motherfuckers I could put in work, whatever. So there I am, on the block kicking it. Sure enough, this truck rolls up and shit, and I'm like, all right, these white boys seem a little suspicious. They got bandanas on, they got their shirts ripped, on the sides. Like you just think that how you see on Cops, how fucking narcs are, and
They
I didn't
did
think
it to
nothing
a
of it
T, right? To a
to a
T.
to a fucking T, bro. And then so I'm thinking it's a little odd, you know what I mean? Because they asked for a 50 shot, and I'm like, I got two dubs. They fat though, They're like, all right, you know what? We're gonna go get changed. So they go to the Quick Mart. I'm watching them and shit. I'm like, all right, while they're going to the Quick Mart, even though they seem suspicious or whatever. And then sure enough, I see a car coming down the street. I think it's another trap, you know what I mean? So I'm like, what's good? You know what I mean? I'm throwing my hands up. It's a fucking cop car, bro. I'm throwing my hands up
But
at
you
the
didn't do
cop
the
car.
deal. You didn't do the deal yet.
Nah, nah, I hadn't actually done the deal. But the thing is, I pointed to my pocket where it was at. But anyway, they searched me one time and they're like, all right, they didn't find anything. So they must have been communicating with the pigs or whatnot that told them what pocket I fucking pointed to because it was in my little pocket in my jeans. And then sure
Yeah.
enough, they come back and they're like, oh, here it is. So fucking 16 years old going to juvenile for possession of illegal substance with intent to sell. So you know what I
Man.
mean? Yeah, and
So how many did you get caught with?
I only had I think those two dubs.
Dang,
Yeah,
man.
I just had those two dubs and I had the money. You
Who
know
were
what I
you
mean?
living
Whatever
with at
cash.
that time? At that time in your life, who were you living with?
I was with my mom's. Yeah,
Now, what was that? What was that phone call like, man?
man, it was pretty messed up. You know what I mean? My mom's always been supportive. You know that the multi tracker, she's the one who got that for me. So when I started working on music and really getting intense with it, she took me down to Guitar Center and put that in her name. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mexican moms, they're gonna defend their kids. Not my son. You know what I mean? So
She's
I
trying to
always
give
have.
you a positive outlet so that you can stay away from the bullshit that's going on out there, you know?
Yeah, man. She's always supported it. And as far as, the, going to jail, whatever, there she was there for me, as a juvenile. And that shit sucked. You know what I mean? As a juvenile, like, and then being so free, going to being so free, because I dropped a high school freshman year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I dropped out of high school freshman year, and then we started just doing dumb shit. I always had older, homies. You know what I mean? So, 4 years older than me. So I was always into the bullshit that they were into, and that's how I kind of got caught up. But I say it's a blessing. You know what I mean? It's a blessing because when will it have stopped? You know what I mean? How bad could it have got if I didn't get stopped? You know what I mean?
Who
Would I
knows,
be here
man?
right now? Would I be here right now? Would I have ever started doing music so seriously? I don't think so.
Hey, yo, Chad, get in the bathroom, man. Sorry, man. I gotta do it, bro.
Did Wiz
Um,
Khalifa spit on the beat? He bought off you get.
yeah, it was some douchebag, man. Shout out to Richard, man. What's good, Richard? So, when did you really start taking the music thing serious when you were around 18, or did they gradually get like more serious?
I felt like it had a lot to do with the people that I ran into. You know what I mean? That was doing music too. You know what I mean? My studio was always open, to all my homies and stuff like that. And I started going to alternative schools. You know what I mean? And trying and going to get my GED. While on probation, doing my what do they call it? Serve community service. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I started running into a lot of cats that did music, you know what I mean, and were serious about music, just maybe a little bit less knowledge than I had, you know what I mean? So when I brought them to the studio and I saw motherfuckers spitting gas, it motivated me to keep on doing it, you know what I mean? Because then I had features, you know what I mean? It wasn't just me on every fucking track, because,
Yeah.
that could get old. When you're not sharing it, it's like you have this gift, you want to share with everybody, and especially when you see motherfuckers rapping, you just want to grab them and say, let's go to the studio, man. I need you in the fucking studio. So we go record and stuff like that. And I feel like, the people that I ran into, that I was able to share that with kept me going, and I kind of took a piece from everyone, you know what I mean, and kind of made me feel like that was my calling, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Excuse.
man. Hey, and it's never too late, man. You could be an older person now and still make something of yourself, man. You know, you could
Real
be in
talk.
your 20s, you could be in your 30s, you could be in your 50s, man. You could change your life. You really
Yeah,
can.
real talk, and that's kind of, it's gone on to this point, you know what I mean. Like, I'm an older cat now, and then I'm able to kind of like, reach younger homies, you know what I mean, and kind of show them a different light, especially now where I am with this music, to show them, hey man, it's fucking possible, you feel me, especially if you start now and you're serious. I'm kind of like, I feel like I wish I knew somebody like myself when I was younger. You know what I mean? I wish I had somebody that would say, "Hey, man, I could open up this door for you." You know what I mean? If you're serious about it. But I worked this whole time to get where I'm at. And I feel like the gift continues. And me not being greedy about studio time or shit like that. I feel like it paid off in the long run. You know what I mean?
So were you charging for studio time? Like when did you first get the studio together where you could have people come and record and all that?
That was after I got the multi-tracker, you know what I mean? So, a couple of years down the line, after being on probation and getting off and still continue to do my shit, I wasn't charging, you know what I mean? It never even crossed my mind, to really be charging, because the people that I ran into for the most part were family, or you know what I mean, like homies I met at school and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
you weren't doing it for the money. It wasn't a money thing. It was right.
I I just wanted a motherfucker to be in the studio with me, honestly. I just wanted motherfuckers to hear my beats. I just wanted motherfuckers to flow to my beats,
Yeah,
and hear somebody else on my shit.
yeah.
And it got addicting, you know what I mean? It got addicting. But, of course, they would ask me. So once people started asking me how much do you charge and stuff like that, then, the wheels started turning. I'm like, hey, motherfuckers actually paying for this shit. This is actually, you know what I mean, a product. This ain't just, anything and shit like that. So, once people started asking, I'll be like, man, I'll take a couple photos, you know what I mean? Whatever. Hey, just come through. Let's get blunted. You know what I mean? Shit like that. You bring the party favors. I got the studio. So, that's always, it started off kind of like that, and with homies like that, like, man, let's just get some work done. You know what I mean? Come in here with the shit written, everything like that. But that's one thing that I was really hard on was fucking writing. I didn't I knew that it was too much people coming in there and freestyling, you know what I mean? Because again, I was there with my moms. I'm not trying to have the homies come in and chill and fucking record these freestyles, because I knew like it wasn't worth it, bro. Because
Yeah,
I,
it's
I
like
saw.
freestyle. What do you're not making no money off that. You're just rapping for nothing. I mean, it's cool to freestyle, mess around, but it's really not like you're not making nothing off of that, man.
I just felt like the art was so much better when I wrote, because I started off writing, and I wouldn't do very much other than be writing. Of course, me, it was my studio. I'm gonna do whatever I want on my downtime, but I sure as hell wasn't gonna have. I mean, don't get me wrong. There was some type motherfuckers that freestyle, and I'll tell them, hey, just record that shit, man. That shit is
Yeah.
hot.
Some
And then
people
I have.
got it like that, and they could do a whole song just freestyle. But some people are straight trash, man. They just need to quit.
Yeah, I'm just like, hey, bro, come back, right? Take this beat. I'm gonna send you this beat or whatever, and I put it on a CD for you. You go home and you write to that shit. But we can't be chilling in here recording freestyles and shit, because we're doing it over and over. And at the end of the day, you don't like it. I don't like it. The person that's fucking listening to don't fucking like it. So I mean, it really wasn't worth my time, effort, and all that shit. When it came down to it.
Yeah, man. This dude says drop a freestyle right now, yo.
Chop a freestyle right now, acapella. Shit, I don't know. I could spit some shit. Hey, yo, we on this motherfucking show. with Bill Staxx. Uh, I'm trying to get real stacks. I grab the microphone and kill that, spill that, brain cells. I know I'm going to hell. Tucson, Arizona, where I dwell. When I never fail, I just bail like I'm bailing out the county jail. I don't really give a fuck. Tucson, Arizona, where I'm staying stuck, trying to make a couple bucks. Yes, I'm blessed. COS, J.O.B music. Let's do this. Tucson, Arizona, down 6th Street, cruising.
Hell yeah, man.
That
It's dope,
was
man.
off
You're
the top.
doing it, man. I think you're a positive influence for the younger people out there to show them that there's an outlet besides running the streets, shooting guns, and being the dickhead out there. You can you can do music. You can. This dude says not bad, man.
Oh, I appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. That was just something off the dome.
Yeah,
But yeah, definitely. I always struggle with going back and forth on some motivation shit and on some sick shit, and that's where I felt like I had to draw a fork in the road, you know what I mean? And that's not true. You know what I mean? You got to use that pain. You got to use that, darkness, because without that darkness, you wouldn't have the good days and vice versa. So now I know, the value of both. You know what I mean? I know the value of struggle. You know what I mean? Because without that struggle, without that pain and shit like that, you're gonna take this good shit for granted. You know what I mean? You
definitely,
take that
man.
take that good for granted.
I'm trying to monetize off of all my old bad ways. I'm trying to turn them into a positive and make all
Yep.
that pain and misery and jail time I went through and all that
I see you, bro.
detoxing and all that bullshit I went through. I'm gonna leave it in the past and I'm gonna learn from it and monetize off it. If I could tell my stories and get ahead in life with it and show
Yep.
other people out there that the change is possible, man, then that's what I'm gonna do.
And that's exactly like where my mind frame was of just getting people in the studio. You know what I mean? Like, hey man, I'm out here to save. You know what I mean? I'm out here to show you something. I'm out here to show the world something. And I see you too. That's why I've been. At the beginning we were talking. That was the beginning when I first got signed. And man, I just be honest. I was scared shitless. You know what I mean? I had a
Yeah,
lot to do. There was no time to feel like I had anything to talk about because I really didn't. You know what I mean? Like our projects weren't far as along yet, and everything like that. So when I first started talking to you and stuff like that, I feel like I really didn't have too much to show for what I have going on. You know what I mean? I didn't really have
yeah.
too much to talk about besides what I was
Yeah, it was
working on.
about a year ago, right?
Exactly. Yup.
Yeah, it was
Yup.
about a year ago. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, almost like exactly a year ago to now where we're at and be able to say, okay, I got stuff on platforms. We're this far along and feel like we actually scratch the surface, you know what I mean? In this record label and stuff like that. So
Have you ever gone on a tour?
not yet. Well, I mean, we did our own shit, you know what I mean? So we had some people in Phoenix and they set up some shows for us out there. And but besides like bar shows and going to Phoenix and performing over there for people and everything like that, and dive bars and shit like that.
Oh, so
That's
you do spots around your area that do shows, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I've done since the beginning when I first started. You know what I mean, and you know, um, yeah. So we do dive bars and shit like that. But as far as like tours, I never did anything like real serious. It's getting there. You know what I mean? It's getting there to m- like it all turns into meeting the right people and having what you want to promote. You know what I mean? Because again, can't really go on tour, or it doesn't make sense to go on tour if you don't have anything to back it up. You know what I mean?
Or if you
Or
don't
any
have the people that are gonna come watch you perform.
Yeah,
Like
real
you
shit.
you could you could build a solid organic fan base of people all across the country who will come out and see you, man. I'm
That's
telling
true.
you, they will come out and see you.
See, that's the thing. Yeah, this is the first album that I have that's going to be on all platforms. So, you know what I mean? Like, although I have albums stacked up after album stacked up, they never really got put out. So, I mean, that's a good thing, for me now. I see it as, because they're going to be put out, under a label and represented the right way than just, Eli putting out, his old shit, So now I feel like once all my shit's dropped, while this first album, which is called Monster, going to be dropped on all platforms, then people are starting to say, well, where's your old shit? So now slowly I could distribute my old shit, and like you
Are you
said,
gonna re-record it, or are you gonna just use the stuff that you have recorded? You're gonna redo it?
I don't have, yeah, for a majority of the stuff, well, I won't say a majority, but for a lot of it, I don't have the stems. But I have a lot of music where I have all the stems and stuff. So we're like, it's a lot of music. And I'm talking like thousands of songs. You know what I mean?
It's crazy, man.
So yeah, so I have a lot of music, but it's just like organizing right now. So I have one mixtape and one album that's gonna be dropped. And the album, even though it's old, I had all the stems. So you know what I mean? It was a we were able to mix and master. With the ones that I don't, it's just kind of getting mastered. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
So, do you want to talk about when you got your deal? Like, so how did you go about getting a deal for the people out there who are like, damn, man, I want to try to get a record deal? Like, how do I go about doing that? How did you go about doing it? How did that whole situation transpire?
so we went out with Money. Money's a homie from Tucson, and he put together he's putting together an album, with X Rated. And so we went out there and we met up with them. And so when we came back, I got on the Lynch page, and I just started adding a grip of people and stuff like that, because I had some photos, over there at Blockstar, and I had some footage over there at Blockstar, and you know I just started posting that shit. And like I said, I added people from the Lynch page, and then I started noticing. I was like, wait, these are some of the artists. These are some of the actual artists. You know what I mean? That used to rap with Lynch and everything like that. And that wasn't solely my intention. But once I started adding them, I hit them up for features. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
uh, one of those people was COS.
Shout
And
out to
so
COS, man. He's a great dude.
shout out to Big Bro, man. So I added COS and I hit him up for a feature and shit. I was like, hey, man, I'm trying to see what's up with getting a feature, you know what I mean? And this was a year ago. Um, so and then I got Lil Six on the track too. You know what I mean? Because I added him, and then I was like, oh shit, let me hit him up. So I never invested in versus features before this, which is kind of amazing to me. That my first paid feature where I'm paying homies that what I mean. It was able to look upon me. But anyway, so I made that monster track, and I put Lil Six and I put COS on it, and I made the beat. Okay. And then I started posting my lives, you know what I mean, on Facebook. And then eventually COS jumped on my live, and he was just like, yo, I need some beats from you. I'm feeling those beats. And shit, that moment, man, my brain just, you know. So
Just
I
like,
mean,
yeah, I want to get it, man. It
I feel
motivated you.
definitely, bro. And I feel like, when somebody believes in you like that, and it kind of unlocks it for you, and it unlocks a different vibe, you know what I mean, and different possibilities and shit. But I started making beats for him, and then we kind of had this arrangement to where I was getting verses from him, and I was sending him beats.
Yeah.
So I was sending him the beat that I wanted him on, and I was sending him a beat for him to have, you know. So and that's how it kind of started, you know what I mean? And one day he calls me, because we're already like, and I'm sending him a lot of beats that I'm not even on yet. I'm just sending him beats. I'm just pumping them, So he calls me one day and he's like, yo, so what are we gonna do about these beats? Like, you've sent me, you know what I mean, X amount of beats, and so what do you want from?" And I was like, "Man, I if we could keep this deal going, if we could, I could keep getting verses from you, and you just want to keep on dropping shit, let's go." So that was kind of that attitude still about, not even worried about getting paid, not worried about, I saw the big picture,
Yeah,
you know,
sometimes you got to do that, man.
because he's charging, $300 a verse. So alone him just jumping on my shit, without coming out of pocket, that showed that he saw the value in my music. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? And so, man, everybody else paying $300 a verse, I'm getting him on track after track. So I'm like, man, so I was helping him build his album, and I was building my album, and he's hearing my album being created while I built his. So his was Hangman, which is yet to be dropped. And then at that point, I started kind of hinting around and shit like that, because I was seeing other opportunities and people knocking at my door. And I literally just kind of hit him up and was like, I want to be a part of J.O.B music. Like, I want this shit to, I just want to keep going. I just want to keep working. I like the pace that we're going at, and I'm not trying to look back. I'm not trying to look around, and I'm not trying to feel like I'm just this, fish in a pond, or this, and so fucking, he said he was going to think about it. He gave me a call about a week later, and, basically said that he came from made sick, you know what I mean? Of course, sick made. And then he was made sick for a while, just holding it down himself. And then he created J.O.B music. So he'd let me know, we'll be the only ones part of J.O.B music. And it's just like starting a business, you know what I mean?
yeah.
And
To get
like,
so it's not like you came into some already established shit that was going on. Like they started it with you, right?
right. Yeah. Well, he had been holding down the label himself for about 5 years. You know what I mean? And just getting beats from other producers, and everything like that. And not only that, but he signed me as an artist and a producer. So he got both. And that's how it went. He just let me know what's good, and that we're going 50-50 on everything. And this ain't like, and that's one thing that I get to pass on too. When people talk about, when homies talk about record deals, and oh man, I would have asked for 1 million, and I would have done this, and I would have done that. And I'm like, man, that just ain't realistic. You know what I mean? That shit just ain't realistic, especially when someone's coming at you at a business perspective, you know what I mean, with a business proposal of their own, letting you know, man, all that glitz and glamour and all that $1 million. It's like, that's why you got a contract, bro. And that's what I try to explain to homies now, when they start talking about that $1 million. And I'm like, you know what that contract is? That contract ain't for you. That contract is for them.
Yeah.
That contract is to say that you're going to be in the studio,
You're
that
gonna pay
you're
all that money back.
yeah, but yeah, small writing, but that they're not wasting their fucking time on you. You know what I mean? That they're not investing all this studio time, all this radio play, all this clout promotion, etc., into you, and you're not gonna, perform. You're not gonna, provide, what they want, which
Your
is fucking music.
services, yeah, whatever you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, so that's what I tell them is, I'm like, bro, that contract isn't for you. That contract isn't, oh, I got a contract. That's for them. They don't got to worry about your fucking ass coming to the studio, because now I see why motherfuckers do contracts. You know what I mean? Because here I am offering my services, motherfuckers don't show up. That's my time. I'm sitting here chilling, where I could be in the zone getting on a beat, but here I am. All right,
Waiting
you
for
know what I
someone
mean?
else, yeah.
Yeah, so that's where I understand, contracts and shit like that, where I don't, or if I tell somebody, hey man, I want to make an EP for you. All right, cool. The homie comes in and drops in one song, and I don't see him for a month. That's where contracts come in, because motherfuckers don't want to invest in you if you're gonna be here today and gone tomorrow. So that's one thing you got to think about if you even want a contract
Yeah,
is
people
how
that you got to work with people who are really dedicated and are willing to put in that extra work for their self. Like people
that
who
love it.
see their self-worth and that are really have the drive to keep doing it. I can tell you got it, man. But everyone doesn't have that drive. Other people want instant gratification. They
True
want,
that.
oh, I want the record deal. They want to be able to sign a paper and you just hand them shit. They don't want to
Yep.
work for it. You know what I'm
Yeah, they want
saying?
them stacks because that's what they see.
Yeah.
They see motherfuckers. I got with the stacks against their ears. You know what I mean, and all that. That's what they think. You know what I mean? It's like, all right,
All
that's
that, all that, all that
there
shit.
you go.
Fucking dumb
That's why I
shit,
call him
man.
Bill Stacks right there. That's why I call him Bill Stacks.
They used to call me Stacks because I would stack bills. Now I stack bills.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, man, I'm just trying to change my life in a positive direction and show the world that you can do it too. And that's it, man. That's what I'm trying to do.
That's what I'm saying. And just work hard. Like I said, consistency is the key. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you got that shit, you don't need no contract. You feel me?
Yeah,
Especially if it's between you and one other individual. If you guys are both holding up both your end of the bargain, guess what? They ain't no signing on no dotted line. You know what I mean? Because y'all
yeah.
motherfuckers begin to trust each other, which is really rare. You know what I mean? In the industry to begin with. So I feel like I'm definitely blessed in all ways. You know what I mean?
So, what's your plans for the future, man? What's your plans going forward with the music and everything?
Excuse me. Well, right now, I'm just gonna continue to do what we're doing, man. We got albums coming out. You know what I mean? We got the AZ to Cali compilation. So right now, we're kind of offering artists to get on this AZ to Cali compilation. It's $100 to get on it, but I'm making all the beats for it. Um, I'm gonna be on some tracks. COS is going to be on some tracks just like that. We're sharing the workload 50-50. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So whoever gets on this, they're guaranteed, a feature with COS. And not only that, but it going on all platforms. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So this is the AZ to Cali compilation, and that's kind of like, where we're going with it right now. And
So do they get a certain amount of downloads when they say if they get on that? What do they get with it? Do they get like do they are they able to get like a certain amount of
I believe we're gonna
downloads?
get.
Do they get money off it? Do they get paid off of the tracks that they put on?
Well, I mean, at least the royalties, you know what I mean? So if they have their own, so that's another thing if you're an artist, to make sure that you get your publishing rights, you know what I mean? To go to BMI or ASCAP and do what you got to do in order to get your royalties, you know what I mean? Because that's, essentially how you get paid off of plays and everything like that. And I tell a lot of homies about BMI and ASCAP, and they don't have any idea about what it is. You know what I mean? But that's the first step to, getting your royalties and everything like that. But to answer your question, I believe we're gonna get physical copies and shit like that. So I'm sure they're gonna have physical copies to pass out. You know what I mean? That's as far as if they're in Tucson, they're gonna get recorded. You know what I mean? They're gonna get thrown on the beat and everything like that. So it's basically $100 to promote the fuck out of themselves. You know what I mean? If they don't have the ability to get on all platforms, or they don't know exactly how, or you know what I mean, like I said, a verse from COS is $300 by itself. So I mean, you're getting all this included, with that $100, and it's a good way to promote yourself. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
as far
Oh
as
yeah.
yeah, but as far as like cashback and everything like that, like we're not really guaranteeing anything solid like that. It's just, what I mean. It's to promote yourself.
You got a chance to be on track with COS, which is a dope individual, man. His music's official, man. You got your music's great, man. And so whoever decides to get on that, do they have to be from California or Arizona? Or can they be from anywhere in the country?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I say it's, from here to Cali and everywhere in between. You know what I mean? And if they're showing love and they're down with J.O.B and they want to jump on this motherfucker, let's go. You know what I mean? So that nobody's really excluded, you know what I mean, from this.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be dropping some music soon, man. I've been working on some stuff behind the scenes. People don't know about it, but I'm gonna be dropping something really soon, man. And I'm
Yeah,
excited
yeah.
about that. It's been a long time. I've never dropped any music on any of the platform. Like, so I've released music before, but it was never on Spotify and all that stuff and Apple Play and all that. So I'm gonna be
Mhm.
dropping something. It's gonna be crazy, man. Hopefully I could get it out by like, towards the end of the summer. It's gonna be
Yeah.
dope, man. Freshwater DJs, man.
Yeah, and I'm gonna have some beats for you too. You know what I mean? Because we talked before,
Yeah.
about getting on the show, and you're asking about beats and stuff like that. But like I said, I wasn't ready to make that exchange because I wasn't ready to get on the show. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, although it was a good opportunity, I was like, oh, I think I just need to wait until I'm ready. You know
And
what I
then
mean?
we
To
and
really
then
have.
we ran into a little hiccup, man. You remember that one, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But it's all good.
Hell yeah. So yeah, I just been working. I just been working ever since. But yeah, man, I want to throw some beats to you. You know what I mean, and collab with you too. You know what I mean, because I heard your stuff too. So it's tight. You know what I mean, and
Hell
just
yeah, man. I appreciate that.
yeah, just keep pushing, man. Just
So
keep
do you
pushing.
have a date? Do you have a date for any of this music that you're gonna be dropping?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Glory is out right now. So we dropped our first single, and that's on all platforms. That's Eli One Glory, featuring COS. But I mean, if you go to any platform, you just put in Eli One Glory, and
Yeah.
it's gonna pop up. So
So when
and
it, when they put in Eli One, is it the one or do they type out one?
ONE, yeah. Yeah, so it's Eli ONE, Glory. So that was my first single off the album, and then that's on the Monster album. So, and that's gonna be released. We're hoping within about a month. You know what I mean? Because COS just finishing up a couple tracks, but also I have that album that I mentioned and mixtape, and that's gonna be only on Bandcamp because, like I said, those are kind of just my older CDs. We're gonna put out, for the people that are asking about my older music and stuff like that. So that's gonna go on COS's Bandcamp. So if you go to bandcamp.com/, and you just look COS, he's
That's the
COS
name. That's the
642.
name of his thing. Bandcamp.
Yeah, yeah, COS 642.
Bandcamp, man. He would have a name like that.
Yeah, so you just look up COS on Bandcamp, boom, and then it has his old discography. So all my older music and everything like that is gonna go along with his older discography, which is, you know what I mean, a blessing to me. Everybody goes through his music and then they see, Eli One's old albums and everything like that. Besides that, the Monster album is gonna go everywhere. So hopefully we're gonna drop that in about a month. But for right now, he's going through and mastering all these older tracks so that way we could give him something, And I just put together, so on my YouTube, um, I just dropped a 9 song like mix. It's like 25 minutes of music.
Yeah.
So you just press play and enjoy those 9 songs. You know what I mean? Someone was telling me to kind of do a playlist and chop them up or whatever, but that
And
would have
there's
took
there's a
longer.
link for all of his for his music, for his YouTube, for his Facebook, his Instagram. It's all in the description of this video if you want to check it out. Just go click on the links.
Yeah,
So
yeah, do that.
I got a couple people I can link you up with and maybe they could help you get on a tour, man. Think that would be dope. It would help you expand to whatever you wanted to do after that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm with it. I'm with it. I'm just trying
Tour
to.
would be huge.
Well, next week we're going out actually to go meet up with COS. That's the first time I'm gonna meet him in person. Everything like that. We opened up for him in Lynch, August 20th, and that was here in Tucson. And you know what I mean. We didn't get to meet that night or whatever. He hit me up there at the motel, and I was already far gone.
Yeah,
So
man.
that was kind of a missed opportunity. You know what I mean? And but it is what it is.
It's
But
gonna happen soon, though, right?
yeah,
And
we're going in a week, and we're gonna go down there. So anybody watching, follow the social media sites and everything like that. We're gonna have a bunch of footage. I'm gonna start working on my documentary. You know what I mean? Including all this information, but not only that, but footage of when I was talking about meeting Brother Lynch.
in 2001, right, with the old
Yeah,
VH1
with the
footage,
yeah,
it's gonna
yup.
be dope, bro.
So yeah, so it's gonna have that. It'll have footage of me going to meet COS. It'll have me meeting X rated. You know what I mean? It'll have me, showing my neighborhood and where I came from and all that. So I'm looking forward to that. And yeah, like I said, so Monsters coming on all platforms. So be watching out for that. If y'all could peep Glory out, I really appreciate that. You know what I mean? Um it's real heartfelt music. Not only that, on YouTube, you go peep out Eli One Scars. That Scars is a like one of my favorite tracks on the album, and like it eats me up that people aren't hearing this right now. You know what I mean? So that's why I've been trying to like feed them as much as I can without kind of giving them too much.
Yo, I'm a DJ, man. So you know what DJs do, right? They play music. So if you send me some music, I
Yeah,
can play your music, man.
fuck yeah,
And
bro. I appreciate
Steve
that.
asked me, "Don't you DJ Staxx?" I think so. I don't know,
Hell
man. Look at this picture. I
I
think
see
so,
you out there.
man.
That's what I'm talking about. I've been seeing, and that's when you started you know kind of showing what you could do and stuff. And I was like, look at this man. He's really doing it out there. He's
Yeah.
really living his best life and living out his dream. And
Hey,
that's
man.
dope.
I'm just trying, man. I'm pushing forward because there wasn't a lot of opportunities where I'm from, and DJ St. Joe, man, I gotta give a big shout out to him. He gave me a great opportunity, and I'm just grabbing the bull by the horns and going with it, bro. And I just been working my ass off, and I'm just trying to get to another level in life. I want to be comfortable, and I just want to live a good life and be happy, man. And that's it. And all these people who are negative, keep staying negative and stay in the bathroom, man. We don't got no time for no negativity around here. We're gonna
No, we
keep it
don't, man.
moving and try to be a positive influence on all these kids who are trying to go the wrong direction in life, and see if we can help change some lives, man. One person at a time.
Yeah, and when I got with COS, man, whatever I thought before or whatever, it was total opposite. You know what I mean? So, thinking that COS came from Made Sick and all this, that he's gonna want to make some sick ass music, and we're gonna, of course, it's sick, but not that type of sick. You know, he was finding God. You know what I mean? He was into that. You know what I mean? He was into starting to raise his kids and knowing what it is to be a father and a good father. So I came right in, you know what I mean, to where it was like, oh, okay, like CO's not on some sick made old CO type of shit. Of course we do that, and you're gonna see that on the album, guaranteed. But when I stepped in the door, it was just like, nah, this is positivity over negativity. We're trying to really make an impact. So that's why I was like, hell yeah. And that comes back to always fighting my demons and saying, wow, am I making this for positive? Am I making this for negative? Or not even negative, but just for the popularity or
Yeah,
just
like what
of
everyone else is going with, the craze, the craze of
yeah,
the
yeah,
time.
the guns, the drugs, everything like that,
Yeah.
which we all know that, and that's all cool. But when you're able to bring something different to the table that people could take home and they could show to their mama and their grandmama and be like, look, you know what I mean? Or if they could hear it and they want to show it to their grandson or their son to say, hey, look, this is along your level. This is something you could understand. This is something you could relate to. But not only that, but something that could push you in a different direction, like you're saying, you know, and let you know that there's more out there, you know what I mean? And that's what it is, you know. And there's so less of it out there that I'm like, all right, cool, you know, we'll be the ones, you know.
Yeah, because
Every
they can be all that negative shit, all that shoot 'em up, kill 'em shit, but it's not gonna get them nowhere, man. Hurting people doesn't get you nowhere, bro.
I feel you, and it comes down to creativity too. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have no cussing in my in my music and stuff like that. Not because any other reason, not because I don't want to cuss, but the minute that I use a cuss word in my verse, I'm saying, what can I use other than that? You know, for radio play. You know,
Well, I
for
do. So fuck him and fuck you too. No.
Will Smith don't got a cuss in his raps. He hit me with that one.
Oh
Nah, but
man.
yeah, bro, man, now that you mention it, that motherfucker is one of the biggest inspirations, you know. So like, I feel like I got, you know, Lynch and M, you know, two devils on my shoulders, you know what I mean? That just sick ass fucking artists that I could really, you know, relate to and just drop that shit. Oh man, not to get off topic or, you know, boast anybody else's other shit, but you hear that fucking Snoop and M, that new Snoop and
No,
M?
no.
Oh, you better press play on that motherfucker, man.
I
Cause
will. Did you hear the new Kevin Gates, bro?
nah, was that fire?
Fire ain't the word, bro. Insane.
Yeah,
Insane, bro. He brung it back. Like he shows you that he got it, bro. He's got skills. Like he ain't one of these little like these popcorn rappers that are all the same bullshit. He's got it, bro.
I
He's
gotta check that.
like really tore it, gave me goosebumps, bro. We were riding around last night in the bands playing that
Pumping
shit. It
that
was
gates.
dope, bro. It was dope, bro. We went to the club, chilling, cause I had to work until 9 o'clock. We went and got off, and then we went out and just spent some time on the night on the town, man. And it was dope, bro.
Hell yeah, that's what's
Had a fun
up.
time.
Hell yeah, that's what's up.
And
But yeah,
I'm gonna be DJing tonight, man. So come check me out. I'll be at 1029 tonight from 9 to
you gonna
close.
be posting pictures and stuff?
You already know, man. You already know how I do it, man.
Yeah, man. I just see them crowds, bro, and that shit's just motivating, you know, to me. I think one of the pictures you were at, probably the one you showed right there, you were talking about the ring girls. It was a fight. It was
Yeah,
a
yeah.
boxing
That
match or
that was the
something.
one. The ring
That
girl.
was the one.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. So I was looking. I was like, look at this motherfucker DJing at a. There it is. Yeah, at a boxing match. I can't even imagine how lit that was. You know what I mean?
Bro,
Like,
look how many people are there, bro.
that's what I'm saying, bro. I'm just like, yeah, and you're supplying the music for that. So, like I said, much props to what you're doing and your movement and stuff like that. Because I see you, and you know, it's got to be motivating for DJs. You know what I mean, too. You know what I mean, to get that spot, and you're holding on to that shit with dear life.
Hey man, I'm not letting it go, man. I'm gonna keep pushing and keep working hard, try to get to another level, man.
I'm
I
glad,
got
bro.
tired of being living the way I was, man. Not ever getting anywhere with life. I finally I have a bank account. I have a legit car. I have like regular things that regular people strive for. I started late, man. I started late to this race. So
Amen.
I'm trying to catch up, but I don't want to I'm not going to risk my anything like my freedom or any of that to catch up. You know what I'm saying? Like some people are like, "Oh, I got to do a get rich quick scheme in order to catch up." Nah, man, you
That's.
just got to
I mean, I hear a lot of that, bro. I hear a lot of that. You know, and that shit. I mean, how long could that last? And not only that, but as far as music too, and homies like, oh, I could get you this many plays, bro. And you know, I'm like, bro, I don't really feel that paying for plays type of shit. You know what I mean? Because yeah, people are gonna look at it and see, oh, maybe you got some clout or whatever. But when it don't match in the comments and it don't match in all that shit, man, you kind of exposed, in your own way, and it kind of
Listen,
takes.
man, it's not hard to tell who pays for views, who pays for shit. Got a bunch of bots watching your shit. You're not
Mm-hmm.
organic, bro. And
That's not good, bro.
people paid for I've never paid for an interview, not $1 ever. And
That's what's up.
I'm not gonna try to start now. But these other dudes who run their mouth, they pay for interviews. They call me and ask me for help, and then they want to run their mouth. It's crazy.
Yeah.
You
No,
know what
yeah.
they are? They're my sons.
Yeah, yeah, you got to show them. You got to show them,
Hey,
and that's what I'm saying. Is like, yeah, that whole scam. That's the way I see it. It's like you scamming, bro. Like,
see a lot of that
I'm
music
tired.
shit. They try to scam a lot of music people too, man.
Yeah. So I'm glad I'm like far away from any of that zone. Like you say, organic. We have our fan base. You know what I mean? That COs grew. I got my fan base that I grew. That's watching me grow in this new light and everything I deserve and work for. And just waiting for that album to drop. So.
And every day it gets better. Every day it gets more and more, right? It's growing every day, man.
Yeah, man, I got this digital. If anybody's trying to market anything, and entrepreneurship, get yourself a digital business card because I got me one of them, and it has everything linked to it. Like you say, my PayPal, my Venmo, um, all my links you could possibly even think of, and all you got to do is scan the QR code or tap it on your iPhone or whatever. So if anybody's, I was gonna keep it to myself. You know what I mean? Because
Nah, I'm
there's a
gonna
lot of.
edit this part out, bro. I'm gonna edit
Hey,
this
yeah, don't. Hey,
part.
that's just for you, Stacks. That's just
Hey,
for you.
listen, man. Hey, he's giving you guys the secret, but they ain't gonna use it, man, because a lot of them
That's
are
what I'm.
lazy and they
You
just
got
won't
it.
work. They won't
You
work
got to
for it.
have something to back it up as well. You know what I mean? Like if you don't have a solid product and if you're not, doing A, B, all the way through Z, then it's not gonna come off as
Or you're
hard. You
gonna
know what I mean?
half-ass it. Don't bother, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So you know what I mean? My shit is filled up from top to bottom. It has my album links, you know what I mean, and everything like that. Oh, so let me mention that real quick. So that song that I made with Lil Six and COS, that
Hmm.
got put on the compilation. So
Oh yeah, that's
that
right.
yeah, so that was the first song that I ever got put on that was on all platforms. So if you look up Cujo compilation on all platforms or whatever, it has a that's basically like, well, compilation, whatever, has a bunch of artists that CO put together, including me, and that's the song Monster that I end up getting signed for. That's when I feel like it got those wheels and CO's brain moving, like, hey, maybe I want to pick this motherfucker up. um
Yeah, I'm
so
sure
I could.
he sees what I see, man. The
I appreciate
drive.
it.
He sees the drive, and that you're not willing to just take no for an answer. You're not. You're like fuck
Nah,
that,
bro.
no, bro.
We picking it up and we running with it, bro. We running with it. So I'm excited for next week. You know what I mean? Heading down to Cali, meeting up with homie. Like I said, link in to my social medias because I'm gonna be putting out back behind the scenes type of stuff. So
Yeah,
while I'm down there, we're gonna be trying to shoot a video for the Monster album. I'm gonna be posting up our lives together and everything like that. And this is the first time everybody's gonna see us actually in the same room together and everything like that.
yeah. When you go out there, hit me up, man. We go live with COS. You right from Cali, bro.
Hey, that would be dope too. Yeah, we could
Hell
lock
yeah,
in an interview that weekend as well.
yeah. We should do that, man.
I'm with
Definitely.
it.
Hell
I'm
yeah,
with
I'm
it.
with it too. But yo, I
Cool.
appreciate you taking the time for me, man. I think a lot of people got a lot out of this interview, and I'm definitely gonna have you on again, man. I think you're a good, positive role model for the youth out there. They need that nowadays, man.
Yeah, I feel it, bro. I feel it. Like I said, it all boils down to our calling, man. I appreciate you having me, and I feel like everything happens in time, you know what I mean? So to anybody working on it and everything like that, and you're gonna go through your ups and downs, but always remember, it's all about timing. You know what I mean? Because it may not happen, last year, it may not have happened yesterday, but today might be the day, and if it ain't today, it might be tomorrow. You just keep on working on that shit. You know what I mean? You always believe that that day is already there. Your destiny has already been chosen. You know what I mean? So you just keep on working for it, and you're gonna land in that place, and that place is gonna be better than what you ever thought it was gonna be. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
so let time take its place. That's my last piece of advice that I could give right now. But much love. Thanks, Staxx. I appreciate you, bro.
definitely, man. Thank you, bro. And make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell so you could get my videos every time they drop. Even for the haters, man. Get in the bathroom. For all the people out there to support me, thank you, man. I appreciate you, man. See
Much
you
love, you
guys
guys.
soon. Peace.